Act 5 of Adelgitha, or The Fruits of a Single Error by Matthew Lewis. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Act 5. Scene 1. A Gothic hall splendidly illuminated. Banquet tables on right and left, around which are Tancred and the knights, pages attending. Throne and chairs. Guiscard on throne. Flourish.
Why, this looks well. Fill every goblet high.
All fill goblets.
O heavens, 'tis sweet o'er friendship's bowl to talk of perils past, and share our joys with these who shared our dangers.
Rising.
But speak of war no more, for lo, she comes whose presence sheds around her peace and joy.
All rise. Enter Adelgitha, with Claudia and ladies.
O welcome, welcome as the wished-for port to some long-absent seaman. Why, my soul, hast thou so long deprived me of thy sight?
Guiscard, so ill I merit. I'm so conscious, my heart, there couldst thou read.
Guiscard, with anxiety.
Methinks thou'rt strangely pale. Yet 'tis no wonder, that place where thou hast been to-night.
Adelgitha, alarmed.
To-night? That place, thou knewest then?
That religious duties have long detained thee in St. Hilda's chapel, and much I fear the damp from vaults exhaling, the marble walls, the night wind's chilling blasts.
Adelgitha, with a mixture of irony.
True, the night wind. Oh, 'tis nothing more. 'Twill soon be past.
Guiscard, taking a goblet from a page.
I trust so. Look round thee, sweet. Apuleius' champions stand, expecting from thy lips their best reward. Greet them, my love.
Adelgitha takes a bowl, then suddenly dashes it on the ground.
Away! 'Tis filled with blood!
She raves!
Guiscard, surprised.
What means...
Have I deserved this, Guiscard? I ever loved thee with such truth, such fondness. I know how monstrous was my fault, but this... Oh, this was cruel. Cruel.
Weeping on Claudia's bosom.
Why weep and hide thy face? Turn to thy Guiscard, turn to him who loves thee.
Adelgitha, eagerly.
Thou lovest me. Oh, repeat those blessed words. Swear still thou lovest me.
Canst thou doubt my love?
Adelgitha, insisting on the word.
Still. Lovest me still. Oh, pronounce that word. Still.
Guiscard, surprised at her wild energy.
Still love thee more than life.
Adelgitha, exulting.
Why then, ye heavens, in thunder speak your wrath, I'll hear and smile. Conscience, thy sting is lost. He loves me still, and all things else are trifles. Hail, warriors, hail! Resume your seats.
All sit.
Fill high your bowls with wine. Swell round me choral music, and peals of bursting joy. Rise, rise, and drown that voice I will not hear.
This change so sudden, this frantic rapture.
Ask not what it means. Thou lovest me, and I'm blessed. Let that suffice. Come, chieftains. Guiscard, come.
Emma, without.
Where's the prince?
Adelgitha, shuddering.
'Tis Emma. 'Tis his daughter.
Emma rushes in wildly, and Reinulf.
Justice! Justice! O princely Guiscard, at thy feet I fall, and clasp thy knees, and call on thee for vengeance. See these torn ringlets, pallid cheeks, eyes swollen, and pity me. My heart is stabbed, is breaking. He's dead. Oh, heaven, he's dead.
Rise, Emma, rise. Whom mourn ye?
Can I speak the name and live? The assassin's dagger, near the rocks he lies, pale, breathless, cold. I threw me by his side and strove to warm him 'gainst my heart. In vain. He's dead. He's dead. My father's dead.
Thy father?
Savagely murdered. Oh, wretched Emma!
How I suffer!
Emma to Adelgitha.
Ah, you weep, but had you seen, as I did, his pale cheeks, his gaping wound, the cold dews stealing down his brows, his limbs convulsed by dying pangs?
Emma, Emma, thou drive me mad!
Confused by rage and horror, I know not to console. But doubt not, lady, if still Otranto holds the wretch, I'll find him, and take such dread revenge.
Forgive my boldness. Fainting through anguish on her father's corpse, the princess knows not, ere we left the rocks, the assassin was surprised.
Produce the wretch.
Exit Reinulf, and returns with Lothair in chains.
Behold him.
Lothair the assassin?
No, prince, no. On my soul, no. If aught that's ill had menaced the life of Emma's father, he had found no surer safeguard than Lothair.
Guiscard to Reinulf.
What proofs?
He's lurking mid the rocks, his sword unsheathed, found near the corpse. Their well-known enmity, this day's events.
All confirm him guilty.
To Lothair.
What hast thou done, base wretched youth? Thy crime at once robs thee of life, and me of honour. A sovereign slain, a sovereign at my court, who sought protection and who found a grave.
What can I say? So deep and dark a gloom involves my fate, that I despair to pierce it. The snow that falls is not from taint so pure as are my hands from blood, my lips from falsehood.
Then clear thy conduct, and relieve my heart, which trembles for thy love, thy life, thy virtue. Who placed thy falchion by my father's corse? So near him, didst thou not hear his shriek for succour? Knowst thou whose hand? He turns away in silence.
Adelgitha, aside.
Reward him, heaven.
Wilt thou not speak?
I'll answer this, but no more. As I've a soul to save, the hand which slew thy father was not mine.
Then whose, barbarian? Go, thou ne'er hast loved me. Lived in thy breast one feeling spark, thou couldst not suffer such doubts to rack her soul, who would not grieve thine for the world's wealth.
Inhuman Emma! To die were better than to cause those tears. Oh, spare me, spare me! Leave me to my fate.
I know not what to think. His oaths, his anguish, should he indeed be guiltless?
Gracious prince, know that on Michael's corpse the note was found which lured him to these secret rocks.
Was it not signed?
It was not, but the writing perhaps may lend some cue.
You counsel well. Produce the note.
Exit Reinulf. Adelgitha, aside.
I'm lost.
Lothair, aside.
She started. Then it was hers.
Adelgitha, in a low voice to Claudia.
Now, Claudia. Now, resource.
Lothair, aside.
I hear his steps.
Adelgitha, breathless with anxiety.
Now.
Lothair, aside.
What must be done? Oh, wretched woman!
Re-enter Reinulf. Reinulf, kneeling.
This letter, prince.
Lothair, snatching it and tearing it.
Shall ne'er betray its writer. This makes the secret safe.
Rash youth, forbear.
Emma, in despair.
Then there's no hope. He's guilty.
What means thy daring act?
It means I know the hand which traced these lines and murdered Michael. The cry of murder drew me to the spot where Michael breathed his last. I seized the assassin whose life was in my power. I swore to save it.
Adelgitha, aside.
O generous youth!
Guiscard, peremptorily.
One word decides thy fate. One choice is left thee. Reveal the culprit, or thou diest this instant.
Lead to the scaffold.
Guiscard, furious.
'Tis enough. Guards, seize him.
Yet be advised, Lothair, nor hope to bury this strange, mysterious secret in the grave. The rack will force it from thee.
Try its strength, then. Thou'lt find that virtue has more power to blunt the shafts of pain than man has art to forge them. Nor can thy torture so afflict my body as violated vows would rack my mind.
I'll hear no more. Bear him to instant death.
Distracting sound!
Emma, not one last look.
Force him away.
Emma, farewell. Farewell.
Dragged away by the guards.
Obey me. To the block.
Adelgitha, with a dreadful shriek.
Oh, spare him! Save him! He's guiltless!
Guiscard, starting.
How?
Adelgitha, desperate.
He's guiltless! He's my son!
All start while she rushes to Lothair and clasps him in her arms.
Thy son?
Thy son?
Oh, gods! What is it I hear?
My shame, my guilt, my fondness, my despair. 'Twas I who murdered Michael. I, who now repeat Lothar is guiltless, is my son. Please to lay down my life to save my child, and die for him who would have died for me.
Embracing him. Lothair, kneeling.
Oh, mother!
Adelgitha, whose virtues art thou a murderess? Thou?
Nay, never doubt it. I own my crime, and I desire no pardon. The tale thou heardst from me today was mine. The father of Lothar, long ere thou saw'st me, robbed me of peace and honour. Fatal chance betrayed to Michael's heir this dangerous secret. His heart was hard. My brain was wrought to frenzy. He knew and threatened me. I feared and slew him.
Unhappy woman, what hast thou done? My brain, 'twill bear no more.
Brynolf supports him. Julian brings down chair.
My son,
To Lothair.
my son, curse me not.
Curse thee? Kneeling, thus I bless thee, and swear, could drops wrung from my inmost heart repay the blood thy hand has shed.
Guiscard, recovering himself.
This instant let all retire, except the princess.
Adelgitha, detaining Lothair.
Oh, no, 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 I dare not.
Guiscard, solemn and commanding.
Adelgitha.
Adelgitha, in a faltering voice.
Prince, I obey.
Exeunt Imma, guards, etc. Manent Guiscard and Adelgitha. Guiscard, after a pause.
I'll not reproach thee. Fear not. I will but say, and say it in mild words too, I will but tell thee, grief impedes my utterance, that we must part forever.
Oh!
Thou knowest me, knowest well my dread of shame, my sense of honour, knowest well my love for thee. But what I suffer to find thee false and guilty, this, oh this thou couldst not know, or sure thou hast not erred.
Adelgitha, in agony.
Heart, heart!
Guiscard, his emotions gradually get the better of him.
Is it true? Can it indeed be real? Thou on whom I doted, thou whose lips I thought ne'er knew a falsehood, whose eyes spoke each wish of the heart so plainly, in whose arms I hoped to have met death, which in thine arms had been so free from pain. And now.
Adelgitha. Her grief changes into gloomy fierceness.
And now, you hate me.
Guiscard, wild and desperate.
Hate thee? Would I did! But mark, ungrateful, mark these groans of anguish drawn from my soul, my faltering voice, my locks, which thus I tear in frenzy, and these tears. Mark these, then ask me if I hate thee.
Sinks on a seat, overcome by the violence of his feelings.
Flow those tears for me! Speak, Guiscard, speak!
Falling at his feet.
Flow they for me!
He motions her to leave him. She rises with frantic gesture.
For that I was to hope it. He shuns me, he abhors me. Why delay then? Where are your gods? Come, prepare the scaffold, and while I seek it, bid the indignant rabble load me with scoffs and base revilings.
Guiscard, starting up with looks of horror at the idea.
Thee? 'Tis fixed, and farewell honour, farewell joy.
To Adelgitha, resolute.
Thy hand and mine, partners in weal and woe. Through life I'll never leave thee, and in death one grave shall hold us both. Imploring pardon, I'll wander by thy side from shrine to shrine, a barefoot pilgrim. Still in toils and perils my arms shall guard thee, and my voice shall soothe. And when thou weepest to hear insulting crowds, pursue thy bleeding steps with taunts and curses. With my torn hair I'll wipe thy tears away, and hide thee in my breast from scorn and sorrow.
Prince Guiscard, heard I right? Canst thou forgive me?
I can. I do.
And love me still?
Still love thee, and more than light, than life, than fame, than virtue.
I'm happy. Guiscard, thus I thank thee.
Embracing him.
And next, reward thee thus.
Stabs herself. Guiscard, petrified with horror.
Help, help within there.
Enter Imma, Lothair, etc.
What mean those cries? Oh, cruel sight!
He receives Adelgitha in his arms. Adelgitha to Guiscard.
Thus only could I repay thy wondrous truth, and spare thee the shame of loving where esteem was lost.
Fly, fly for aid!
No. The steel was faithful. 'Tis my heart's blood which... Oh, that pang!
Falling. Guiscard, hastening to her and raising her in his arms.
She dies. Look up, my love, my soul. Look up once more. One parting word, one long adieu, one blessing.
Bless thee. Farewell. Oh, I am guilty. Guilty. Pray for my soul's repose. Pray too, hereafter, our spirits in a better, happier world. Heaven. Oh, heaven. 'Tis past.
She dies. Guiscard throws himself in despair on the dead body near which Lothair is kneeling, while Imma is fainting, supported by Claudia and ladies. Slow music. End of Act 5. Note: I make no doubt that Adelgitha's fate will be reckoned too severe. In my justification, I must observe that my object in writing this tragedy was to illustrate a particular fact, namely, the difficulty of avoiding the evil consequences of a first false step. It appeared to me that the more venial the offence, and the more amiable the character of the offender, the more strongly would the above position be proved, and the very nature of my object made it necessary that Adelgitha should be the constant victim of her single transgression in this life, and only receive the reward of her many virtues in the life to come. But above all, I must request that no one will mistake Adelgitha for a heroine. I meant to represent in her a woman with all her sex weakness, whose natural inclinations were virtuous and benevolent, but who was totally unprovided with that firmness of mind which might have enabled her to resist the force of imperious circumstances. Accordingly, she gives way to them one after another, and is led on gradually and involuntarily from crime to crime, till she finds herself involved in guilt beyond the possibility of escaping. Such was my plan, though perhaps the defects of its execution may have prevented the reader from discovering it till now. End of Adelgitha, or the Fruits of a Single Error, by Matthew Lewis.